90% of the difficulties in life come from ignoring important lessons. You will ruin your life if you keep trying to please everyone. The only time you should look into someone else's bowl is to ensure they have enough. Being alone is a strength that helps you realize how much you need yourself. Bad habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to get into but hard to get out of. Eventually, we only regret missed opportunities, avoided relationships, and delayed decisions. Don't think you're doing everything wrong. Your path is different because it is unique. The price of procrastination is the life you've missed. Don't rely too much on anyone, because even your shadow disappears when you are in the dark. The best way to keep a promise is not to make one. Expect less from others and more from yourself. That's the secret to happiness. Fear is created when you sit still, but overcome through action. If you want to make a wrong decision, ask others. Don't look back, you are not going that way. If others take back the pain they caused, you will lose the strength you have gained. Life will test you before blessing you. Focus on the lesson, not the pain, and you will grow. The miracle you seek is in the work you avoid. You can be either positive or negative, but only positivity will lead you to success. Don't reveal the next step, just take it. If something makes you happy, keep it quiet. Your family matters more than where you come from. Knowing yourself will make you need less approval from others. A difficult past doesn't mean a brighter future is impossible. Don't let small thoughts hinder your big dreams. Striving to please everyone will make no one happy. The truth is, everyone will hurt you, just find the ones worth it. If you have to question what is right for you, the answer is usually no. Accept both praise and criticism, for both the sun and rain are needed for a tree to grow. You did your best at the time, don't blame yourself for hindsight. Waiting for change without action is like waiting for a bus at a train station. There are 3 ways we learn wisdom: through reflection, experience, and learning from others. There are 3 ways we gain wisdom. The first is reflection. This is the noblest way. The second is imitation, the easiest way, and the third is experience, the most bitter way. Don't let others' opinions drown out your inner voice. Hope for the best but plan for the worst. Respect yourself, because others will see if you don't. You can't please everyone, and trying to do so will only lead to disappointment and failure. Stay away from those who can't recognize their own faults but see all your mistakes. Focus on the step ahead of you, not the whole staircase. Be brave enough to try something new. Your thoughts are like boomerangs, what you send out will come back to you. Listening to those who tell you what you don't want to hear only prolongs what isn't meant for you. Delay what's yours. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. Taking action and regretting is still better than doing nothing and feeling regret. The reason today is easier is because of the excuses we make. Discipline makes today difficult, but tomorrow easier. If you are a giver, know your limits, because the receiver has none. If you don't clear your mind, you will lose what's in your hands. Don't share your problems with friends before finding solutions, no matter how hard it is. You don't lack focus or potential, you lack consistency. You lack strategy, not resources, you lack discipline. Your future is in your hands, and doubt resides in your mind. People want to bypass struggles without realizing that's where character is built. Self-pity is dangerous, avoid it. Vision without action is just a dream. Trying too hard to forget someone only makes you think of them constantly. Don't let lack of support stop you from reaching your goals. Don't fear losing people, fear losing yourself. When trying to please everyone around you, you end up pleasing no one. Don't wait for things that don't choose you. Learn to be loud about being uninvited, excluded, or overlooked. Though it may not happen overnight, if you quit, it will never happen. Work on your job and earn a living, work on yourself and build a career. The hardest part is starting. A rocket journey uses up 90% of its fuel during launch. Sometimes, people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want to shatter their illusions. Don't be sad about results you didn't get from work you didn't do. Your journey to success always begins with a small step of seizing opportunities. Be alone until you are valued. By not preparing, you are preparing to fail. What you say about others says a lot about you. Don't fear starting over. This time, you aren't starting from scratch, you are starting from experience. Don't expect life to be fair. Expect yourself to become better, capable of handling any situation. When you stop chasing the wrong things, you allow the right things to catch up with you. Shame is the price of stepping in. If you aren't willing to look silly as a beginner, you will never become a graceful master. You are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you will always be disappointed. You are right about everything you think you need to do. Don't wait, start now. Not everyone will enter your future. Some people just pass through to teach you life lessons. Be good, but don't waste time proving it. Just because something is difficult doesn't mean it's impossible. You may regret what you say, but you'll never regret silence. Never let the same person disappoint you twice. Nothing is particularly difficult if you divide it into small tasks. One today is worth 2 tomorrows. Try not to sacrifice your progress for friends. They may not do the same if the positions were reversed. Today is the oldest you've ever been, and the youngest you'll ever be. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future, but something you design for the present. Private life always wins. Keep it secret until you succeed. Being alone is truly better than being with fake people who pretend to love you. Don't fear giving up good to achieve greatness. The more people disappoint you, the easier it becomes to rise and realize that life doesn't stop for anyone. Sometimes you have to lose something good to gain something better. Be cautious with who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. Success is achieving what you want. Happiness is wanting what you have. Most people stay in the same place for a reason. What they value are the anchors keeping them there. You and your family are yours before anyone else's. Sometimes, you have to fight with yourself to fix yourself. You won't always be motivated, so you must learn to stay disciplined. The fastest way to success is to start right now and learn as you go. You can't learn how to drive when the car is already parked. You make the best decisions when you're hurting because the fear of experiencing the same pain again is the strongest motivator. What we do during work hours determines what we have. What we do during leisure hours determines who we are. If you treat a person as they are, they will remain as they are. But if you treat them as they should be and can be, they will become what they should be and can be. The best way to feel better is to try to make someone else happy. Work hard as if no one is behind you. Your life isn't yours alone. If you're always concerned about what others think, you may not realize this, but the people you love are your biggest weakness. Set your mind on a clear goal, and watch the world quickly make way for you to move forward. Once you recognize your worth, you'll be surprised by what you've been willing to accept. Don't tell anyone what you think or know. Keep your secrets to yourself, because a friend today could become an enemy tomorrow. If someone treats you like an option, leave them like a choice. To get somewhere, you need to leave something behind, ideally everything at the right time. Otherwise, you'll carry too much regret and complaints. Be impatient with actions but patient with results. There are no limits to what you can achieve except the limits you set in your mind. Avoid people who bring out the person you no longer want to be. Embrace the occasional setback as a time for reflection and self-discovery. Forgive your old self, you've changed. Many people you've shared your secrets with have told them to others. Don't try to bypass difficulties, that's where character is built. If you define the problem correctly, you almost have the solution. There are no shortcuts to where you truly want to go. The true test of character is what you do when no one is watching. You must do what's right for yourself even if it hurts some people you love. When you work for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. The first step to getting somewhere is deciding that you don't want to stay where you are. You spend the first 20 years of your life worrying about what others think about you. You spend the next 20 years affirming you don't care about what others think. You spend the next 20 years realizing they don't think about you at all. Stand up and face your fears, or they will defeat you. Sometimes solitude is the price you pay for growth. To love yourself, you can't hate the experiences that shaped you. Focus on making yourself better, not thinking that you are better. Do what no one else can do, and you will become what no one else can become. Other people's progress doesn't diminish your own. Not everyone you trust will be reliable. Comfort is the enemy of progress. The quieter you become, the more you hear those who truly care. It doesn't matter who doesn't care, and those who matter won't. You may accept an apology, but you must dismiss trust. You are hardest to control when you are healthy. You are hardest to manipulate when you are clear. You are hardest to influence when you are self-reliant. It takes a long time to realize you are truly miserable, and even longer to understand it doesn't have to be that way. The people you love in life should be a safe haven, not a source of added stress. Your direction is more important than your speed. You may not lead a comfortable life with a single income. You need to build walls that keep things out and keep things in. At least one person in your life should provide honest feedback. Sometimes later becomes never if you don't act now. Hope your choices reflect hope, not fear. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. Worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair, it gives you something to do but doesn't get you anywhere. No job is beneath you. The only thing beneath you is your ego. Work hard in silence and let your skills show through your work rather than criticizing it. If you don't make yourself irreplaceable, you'll soon be unemployed. The key to success is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Time is your most valuable resource, there's no refund or second chance for wasted time. In most cases, obstacles are the path you're shaped by what you say more than what you do. Words give us the power to create or destroy. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher. Where fear ends, strength begins. The first step to going anywhere is deciding you're unwilling to stay where you are. Obstacles are the scary things you see when you take your eyes off the goal. Betrayal never comes from your enemies. You'll never remember the days and nights you stayed home and did nothing. If you stop seeing the world the way you like or dislike it, and see things for what they truly are, you'll find more peace in life. There is no perfect time. You must take the time you have and make it perfect. The best thing about difficult times is having the opportunity to see people's true nature. What the human mind can imagine and believe, it can achieve. Always take responsibility for your actions, as it is a sign of maturity. Your goals are your compass guiding you through life's storms. If you don't value your own time, no one else will. No relationship is worth hurting your mental well-being. Spend time with older people, their wisdom and experience are invaluable. Never expect someone to catch you when you fall, even if you've helped many others stay upright. Sometimes you'll meet someone for the last time without realizing it. Notice that you'll never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Just because a thought catches your attention doesn't mean it deserves your attention. Be with those who nourish your soul, not drain it. If you want the present to be different from the past, learn from the past. The key to happiness is letting each situation be what it is, rather than what you think it should be. When writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. There are two paths you can take, but in the long run, there's always time to change the path you're on. Don't view anyone as your competitor. You don't share the same goals, ambitions, or intellect. You are unique. If you maintain a positive attitude in a negative situation, you will win. The heaviest burden we carry is the weight of expectations. Learn to handle rejection gracefully. There is no quality more important to success than perseverance. It overcomes almost everything, including nature itself. Don't let past hurts turn you into someone you don't want to be. Build your own dreams, or someone will hire you to build theirs. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. The secret of achievement is holding a vision of a successful outcome in your mind. Count your blessings, not your problems. Take pride in your effort. Ships don't sink because of the water around them, ships sink because of the water inside them. Don't let what's happening around you weigh you down. Saying something is knowledge, and knowing when to say it is wisdom. If you need inspiration, don't look for it. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Find something you love, something you can rely on, something that keeps you going. You need something to lean on when you feel discouraged. Accept that you aren't important to some people and move forward each time you are rejected for something better. You are being guided towards something better. On the other side of the storm is strength gained from overcoming it. Remember that some of the best moments of your life have not yet happened. Take time today to recognize where you are and how far you've come to get there. Even if you haven't fully reached where you dream to be, life lessons will not matter unless you live them. You don't change yourself just to make someone else happy, unless that person is you. The more you dwell in the past, the less future you have to enjoy. Don't worry about people talking behind your back. They're standing behind you for a reason. There are no missed opportunities. Everything you've missed was never meant for you. If you don't sacrifice for what you want will become a sacrifice. Your life is yours. If you always care about what others think, sometimes you need to burn bridges to prevent crossing them again. A person without a vision for their future will always return to their past. Make sure your choices are worth the losses you'll endure. Action brings clarity more than thinking. You can't think your way into a new life, you must act your way into a new life. You can make all the mistakes you want, just don't make the same one twice. It's okay if you don't know how to move forward, start with something easier, like not looking back. Sometimes you just need to slow down a bit, put yourself first, and think about what's best for you. Learn to see people as they are, not as you want them to be. Be humble enough to know you're no better than anyone else, but wise enough to know you are different. Until you become comfortable being alone, you'll never know if you're with someone for love or loneliness. People don't decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. The faster you do the things you avoid, the sooner you get the good things you want. Accept what you can't change and change what you can't accept. The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest challenge is being happy with what you find. You may think you know someone, but for the most part, you only know what you choose to know. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. If nothing else, some people only teach you how not to be. You can't make someone love you, and you can't force yourself to love someone else. Don't burn your chances for temporary comfort. Confidence doesn't come from expecting success, but from being comfortable with failure. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. We are the average of the people we spend time with. Surround yourself with good people to become a good person. Don't expect to see change if you don't create change. People will come and go from your life, and those you least expect will become memories of a temporary time you once thought was permanent. You teach others how to treat you, whether consciously or unconsciously. The purpose of a debate is not to defeat each other, but to understand one another. If it scares you, it might be a good thing to try. Your worth is not determined by others' ability to see your value. There are no bad emotions, only bad reactions to them. You must learn to express your negative emotions constructively. People who show you new ways of thinking and new perspectives on life are important. Your enemies often speak the truth because it hurts, and your friends often lie because it doesn't help you grow. Willingness to be disliked gives you the freedom to do what is necessary, even if it's not popular. Be brave enough to say what you want to say, not what others want to hear. If someone's absence brings you peace, you lose nothing. We often overestimate what we can do in a year, but underestimate what we can do in 5 years. Your past or childhood may have been messy, but it is a great strength for your future. If it's beyond your reach, it's also worth being free from your mind. Don't be afraid to start over. This time, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting with experience. The more responsibilities you take, the more capable you are to truly do something about that pain. Your friends and family don't always know what's best for you. Solitude is the price you pay for beginning to improve yourself. Don't underestimate others, you never know when they may leave. You never realize how important they are to you until they leave. Judge people by their actions, and you will never be deceived by their words. When someone shows you their true colors, don't try to paint a different picture. If you want to feel motivated to do something, take the smallest action to do it. You'll never remember the days and nights you stayed home and did nothing. Hands that have been on your shoulders during tough times are more valuable than hands that clap for you when you succeed. Forgiveness doesn't make the person who hurt you feel better, it makes you feel better. Accept everything as it is. Life isn't about living in the past or living for the future, but living in the present. Those playing the final roles will forget the script. Remember, you are always responsible for your actions, no matter how you feel. Honesty may not bring you many friends, but it will always bring you the right ones. No matter how good you are, if you are in the wrong place, you are worthless. Extraordinary results come from repeating ordinary actions over an extraordinary period. You can choose a comfortable, stress-free happy life, or a more exciting, yet challenging and meaningful life. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. When you blame others for your problems, you're giving them control. You're allowing them to define and decide your happiness and comfort. People start hating you when they can't control you. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. If you're constantly trying to prove your worth to others, you've forgotten your own worth. Leave when promises become apologies. You don't find your purpose elsewhere, you create your purpose right where you are, and you bring meaning to it. No single thing will solve all your problems. Without goals, achievements, or relationships, you will always feel slightly lacking and dissatisfied with your life. A happy life is not a life without stress, it's a life of meaningful stress. You won't forget some things that hurt, you'll just stop caring until it happens. Don't stress too much about it. It's never too late to do the things you've always wanted to do. Don't let those who oppose discourage you, as they may be reflecting their own insecurities. The more you love yourself, the more you distance yourself from things that don't love you. Follow your heart, but bring your mind along. You can have results or reasons, but not both. Growth happens when you start doing things you aren't qualified for. Be smart enough to ask for advice, but wise enough to know who to ask. Over time, the more victories you have over fear, the less fear you will have. Never make someone a priority when they only see you as an option. Those who don't fight have already lost. The only way to feel better about yourself is to do things that are worth feeling good about. Many things may break your heart, but they also clarify your vision. Never reject an experience just because it is unfamiliar or uncomfortable. It could be the defining and greatest part of your life. You will always have people who don't see your value. Don't let that be you. Your life can change entirely in a moment. So instead of passively accepting what you have, be grateful and do everything good with it. One of the most dangerous things you can do is believe someone's opinion about you. Your relationship with others directly reflects your relationship with yourself. Your tomorrow can be vastly different from today if you keep thinking about what didn't work today, and I promise it will. It's not about having time, but creating time. You can't always be good, that's how people take advantage of you. Sometimes you have to set boundaries, destroy the old version of yourself before it destroys you. Be selfish with your time, many don't deserve it. Never be loyal to the point of betraying yourself. You can't have everything. You always exchange something for something else. The weak seek revenge, the strong forgive, the wise let go. We are shaped by what we let go of, what we sacrifice, and what we reject. You are merely a reflection of the desires and demands of those around you. If you don't decide who you are, others will decide for you. You grow in proportion to the amount of truth you're willing to accept about yourself without running away. There is always time. The only question is how long you'll make excuses and pretend it doesn't exist. Life moves quickly. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. The worst enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. You don't have to engage in every argument you're invited to. Don't discuss your past with anyone because only you know the true story and meaning of it. Others may not understand or even use it against you. Success and failure are abstract concepts, only existing in your mind before you do something, not after you've done it. The more grateful you are, the more beauty you'll see around you. Life becomes more generous, and you'll be happier. Sometimes you need to stop seeing the good in others and start seeing what they show you. If there's something you want to do in life, don't wait. If you wait, you may find that 5 years have passed and you haven't done anything. Most of your problems disappear and you start associating with smarter and more thoughtful people. Everything comes to you at the right time. Be patient and trust the process. You can't always help. Sometimes you'll see loved ones make poor decisions even after you've advised them. Jealousy is a waste of time. You already have everything you need. Sometimes the world is trying to tell you who you are. But if you don't stop to reflect and listen, you'll never be able to hear it. Enjoy every moment of your life to the fullest. Your sacrifices and compromises will be rewarded. An apology without change is just manipulation. You don't truly know the person you're with until you live with them. Never marry someone without living with them first. Hurting them won't heal your pain. One day you will look back and understand exactly why everything had to happen. You can't control others' behavior, but you can always choose how you react. Don't have issues with people you don't have relationships with. Once you lose someone, they will never be the same again. If you spend too much time thinking about something, you'll never finish it. If you say you will do something, do it. Your words are one of the most valuable things you can nurture, and if your words lose value, it's hard to regain trust. It takes years to build, just a second to break, and forever to fix. You may not like discipline, but you'll like the results. You won't always be able to help someone improve if you keep trying. There will come a day when you decide you can't do it anymore, and they clearly don't want to change just because of you. Remember, needing them doesn't mean you need them back in your life. The price of procrastination is the life you could have lived. Be careful who you share your weaknesses with. Some people can't wait for the chance to use them against you. In solitude, a strong mind learns to rely on itself. Sooner or later, a two-faced person will forget which side is real. What you allow will continue. Your true friends become clear when you're at your lowest. Live your life the way you want, because even those who care about you can't be with you every step of the way. You'll upset many people by doing what's right for yourself. If you can't care for yourself, you can't care for anyone else. Potential means you haven't done anything yet. Maturity is realizing that overextending yourself in others' lives to prove your loyalty only shows that you undervalue yourself. Treat others the way they treat you. If you're lucky enough to get a second chance at something, don't waste it. Don't seek happiness where you lost it. True strength is letting people miss you instead of begging them to choose you. There's a reason some people are no longer in your life. This is actually a very precious gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Most people are only kind when things don't really matter. Never be so good that you forget wisdom, and never be so wise that you forget kindness. You will be alone in the toughest moments of your life. These moments will make you wiser, more mature, and fearless. Some people only care about you when you're doing something for them. When you start seeing your own worth, it becomes harder to be around those who are not genuine. Maturity is realizing that a relationship doesn't always have to work out and can always be fixed. However, no matter the situation, a wrong step can change everything. Don't lie. Don't deceive. Be honest and loyal. Never belittle someone's emotions. You never know how brave they were to share them. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You can do a lot for someone and still not be treated well. If you blame others, don't expect it to get better. One day, you'll have a clean, quiet home and a spotless car interior. All you'll want is for those who messed it up to come back home. Actions prove who someone truly is. Words only prove who they pretend to be. When you feel pushed away by someone, don't bother them anymore. Be cautious with kindness. Kindness has limits, and some people may take advantage of your generosity. Your progress doesn't need to be seen or validated by others. Expectations always hurt. So, expect little or no expectations from others. Between choosing what's right and kind, choose kindness. Don't accept criticism from someone you wouldn't accept advice from. When you work for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. Someone without their own life will always try to create drama in yours. You can't lose what you never had, you can't keep what isn't yours, and you can't hold on to what doesn't want to stay. Life always gives you a second chance, tomorrow. Most people will deceive you if you give them at least half a chance. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. When you do something right, others will be unsure if you've done anything at all. Don't burn yourself to keep others warm. Those who truly care don't matter, and those who matter don't care. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Never expect someone to catch you when you fall, even if you've caught many when they fell. You could be friends with someone for years and still not realize they were never truly your friend. Every ending is also a beginning. We just don't know it at the time. Life can knock you down, but remember, you don't lose when you fall, you lose when you stay down. You may be the only one left believing in you, but that's enough. Not everyone should be in your future. Some people just pass through to teach you life lessons. Lesson learned: sometimes, the hardships we face aren't purely random. They are lessons life wants us to learn, grow from, and change. 90% of difficulties in life come from ignoring important lessons. These lessons may not be easy, but they make us stronger, wiser, and more understanding of ourselves. Embrace challenges, don't avoid them, because that's the only way to truly grow and live a more meaningful life.